What is up, homies? My name is Felix and I am here back again with another video for you all today. And as you can see, we got the guitar out for this one. It's been a little while since I've done a video where I just teach you guys some guitar type stuff. So this past weekend, me and Zol, who some of you may know, we were actually working on a little top secret project that I can't tell you guys about right now. Stay tuned because it's going to be coming out in the next few weeks. It's going to be very exciting. But the one thing that I will say about it is that there was a lot of guitar playing that happened, which had me thinking about all of the different ways that there are out there to come up with guitar melodies. And in all honesty, there's an infinite number of ways. But today I've picked out 5 of them that I actually use myself. They're very good. Some of them are very easy. Even beginner guitar players can do them. And today I'm showing them to you guys so you can come up with your own guitar melodies for your beats, for your songs, whatever you might need a little guitar for. So yeah, make sure you guys go check out my Instagram and my SoundCloud down in the description below, along with the playlist of songs I produced, Beat Store, Discord, all that stuff. Go check it out if you'd like to do so. And now let's get into this video. So for clarification, there are 2 different things, melody and harmony. Harmony is when you have a lot of notes played together at once. And a melody is when you have individual notes played like this. So that is technically what a melody is individual notes, but for the sake of this video, and for the sake of kind of more of the producer community that I am a part of, when people say melody, they're usually just referring to the entire musical section of a song or beat or whatever. So when I say melody, that's kind of what I mean. Also, if you are a beginner, you have no idea what you're doing, and you want a little tutorial on how to get you started with guitar, definitely check out this video right up here. So now that we have that out of the way, we can talk about the first method, which is something that I have personally always used, the tried and true method, playing some chords and then fiddling around until you get something that sounds good. So with this method, you can basically come up with a very simple chord progression. Let's just go with like a 1, 4, 5 or something. So we have something like this. So you take that and you record it into your DAW, whatever DAW you might be using. For demonstration purposes, I'm just going to play it out on my phone. But once you have that recorded, then you basically just play it and you go in and find which notes sound good. So, that one sounds fine. That one doesn't sound fine. So we're not going to play this one. Those are fine. There you go. And once you find about 2 of the notes that sound good, you can pretty much figure the rest out. Because if this one sounds good, that one doesn't sound good, you know you just skip one. So I can assume if we skip one going forward, we're going to skip one going back, probably going to skip one more, and then there's probably going to have one right next to the other. So let's see if that's right. As you can see, so it literally just takes a couple minutes of messing around on the strings, finding which notes sound good, and then you can easily come up with a melody. So another little method that I like to use very frequently is putting counter melody notes inside of your chords. For example, one thing that I've been doing a lot recently, take this capo, put it on whatever fret, doesn't really matter. Just doing little hammer-ons and pull-offs like this. It makes your guitar part so much more interesting. One way that I like to do it is just taking like an F major 7 shape and then putting a C in the bass right here. And now you have this. And you have so many options you can do here. You can go. Also with the G chord, you can do kind of a similar thing. So yeah, I love this method personally, and I try to incorporate this into a lot of my playing. And I should mention that part of the reason I have the capo on is because it's much easier to do this stuff when you have open chords that you're playing. Because if you're doing bar chords, there's only like so many fingers that you have available. So you usually need to take off a finger to get something like this, which still sounds good, but it's a little harder to play, and you also are now playing a dominant chord instead of just a major chord. So having the capo is really nice because you can just... So this next method is one that's kind of going to tie together both your chord progressions and your counter melodies slash just melodies, and that is by using scales. I know some of you hear that and you're like, but however, it's not what you think. I'm not going to make you sit there and go... I'm going to show you guys how to use scales actually like a tool to write a song rather than just like a mind-numbing practice technique. So I think I did a video kind of going more in depth on this before. I'm not totally sure, but if I did, it's up there. However, I'm going to give you a refresher regardless. So we're just going to take a major scale, and this is not a video teaching you guys scales, so you can go learn that in your own time. But let's say we have a basic major scale for G. So that right there just told us the chords that we can use in this key. So since we're in a major key, the 1 is a major, 2 is a minor, 3 is minor, 4, which is a major, 5 major, 6 minor, and then 7, which is diminished, but we're just not gonna worry about that. So yeah, those are the chords that we can use in that key. So if somebody goes, hey dude, we're gonna play this song in A major, you know, okay, that's an A. Now you can do your little scale pattern and translate those into chords. And now you can play whatever song they might be playing. So that's how you can figure out a little chord progression within a key. However, you can also literally just take the notes in that scale, play them over whatever chord progression you choose, and you'll have a nice sounding melody. So I'm just gonna do a little 1, 6, 3, 4 chord progression. Sounds pretty cool. So I'm going to record that, and then we're just going to solo with the scale over that. And that right there was literally all we need to do. We've got a nice little melody. Obviously the pitch is a little low for where you'd usually want a counter melody to be, but we can just play down the scale a little bit more and play it higher pitch. So that's a really nice way to do that, and that's really good for people who like it to be very structured and like to have like a very set formula for how they make their stuff. So going with scales, basing everything off a scale, can be very, very helpful and very, very structured. Alright, so for this next one we busted out the interface, the electric guitar and everything. Alright, so this next one, I guess we'll call the low, mid, high technique. And this is the way that I like to structure a lot of my guitar melodies. You basically just have something playing in a lower octave, and then you go up a little bit higher into kind of the mid-range, and then you have like a higher up counter melody. With the lower part, it's usually a lot of times just chords that I'll play. I'll play just like full chords like this. But today I'm just going to show you with 2 notes. So we're just going to record that, and then we're going to go higher up, and then higher up, and then we'll have a full, complete melody. Also, I should mention that for all the different layers here, you want it to be really simple. You don't really want to go super crazy and add a ton of like hammer-ons and pull-offs and different like chord variations and stuff like that, because each simple layer is going to come together to create something like more complex and beautiful. So now that we have this, let's take something in the mid-range frequency. Okay, this is not perfect or anything. Obviously, I don't even have a metronome playing, but let's just go to the higher up part and add a little melody there, and then we'll have our completed thing. And personally, I think it all comes together to make something that sounds really nice, and it's really, really easy to do. All you need to do is play a couple different notes in each different, frequency range, and you'll pretty much be fine. Before I move on to the next tip here, one advice that I will give you is it'll sound really good if you change the pickups depending on what, register you're playing in. But obviously, this is all a matter of taste and all a matter of what you think. But I found that when you're playing low, it sounds really good to do more of like a bridge pickup, like a little bit more thicker, beefier pickup selection. And when you're going higher, do a little bit more of like a thinner pickup, like a neck pickup kind of thing. Also, if you're doing DI straight into your digital audio workstation, maybe changing your amp stimulation plugin or whatever plugins you have on your guitar. Alright, so this next tip is actually kind of similar to the last one, and this is something that I have kind of been inspired to do by Far Caspian, one of my absolute favorite artists who you guys should totally check out. Obviously, I'm sure there's other people that do this too and have done it way before him, but it sounds really good when he does it, and it's basically just adding like literally like 1-note melodies, 2-note melodies over your chords, and it really just sounds amazing and goes to show you that you don't really need to do a whole bunch of fancy stuff if you want to have a good guitar in your song. So I'm just going to record some chords real quick. Alright, so we have our little pattern recorded and double tracked actually. Not to mention with no metronome, and it still sounds pretty decent. But now what we're gonna do is just add literally something like this. Super simple, just 1 note, maybe 2 notes if we're feeling crazy. finally, to cap it off, let's just record one more. That's super simple, just 2 notes, and it's gonna sound like this. Beautiful. As you can see, we have a beautiful guitar melody, and most of these layers consist of just 1 or 2 different notes. So yeah, personally, I think this is a really cool variation on kind of the last tip that I showed you as well. And that was technically 5 things, but I'm gonna give you guys one more little tip for the road that you guys can use. So this little bonus tip has to do entirely with chords. So let's say you have just a basic little chord progression. Let's go with another 1, 4, 5, shall we? It's a good enough how it is, but let's say you want to take that and you just want to spice it up a little bit. You take every single chord and you just do something weird with it. Let's take this first chord, make it into a dominant maybe. But we can't just stop there. Let's take the 4 and turn it into a minor instead of a major. But also, we don't have to stick within the bounds of our first chord progression. We can kind of build on this as well. So one thing I'm hearing is... So maybe we do that on the second time around, so we go. And now we have a much more interesting chord progression than just. So yeah, that right there is actually why it's invaluable to learn different chord shapes and voicings and stuff, because once you get into all of that and once you get into like learning the movable chord shapes, you can just go wild and mess up your chord progressions, but in a good way, and just make a whole bunch of cool, crazy, jazzy stuff. But yeah, honestly, I think that is just about gonna do it for me in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I really enjoy making these guitar videos for you guys, so let me know if you like them and want me to keep doing more, because I definitely will. Guitar is absolutely an amazing instrument, and there's so many different things you can do with it, so I would recommend, if you don't know guitar, definitely learn. Again, I really hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys go check out my Instagram and my SoundCloud down in the description below, along with the playlist of songs I've produced, Beat Store, Discord, all that stuff will be down in the description below if you want to go check it out. Also, make sure you stay tuned and you're prepared for all the big things that are coming soon. We've got a very, very big project that's going to be dropping sometime next month-ish, maybe. So yeah, stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, and I will see you guys next time.